Hi YouTube. The last video I posted was about the elementary beliefs of a theistic Satanist. And a girl on YouTube asked me if I could elaborate on the creation story of what we theistic Satanists believe was the creation story. So I figured I would just go through that on the perspective of someone from the Joy of Satan community. Now, like I said in the first video, a lot of people think that Joy of Satan is a racist occult group. Some things they say are anti-Semitic, but I do not adhere to these beliefs that much. I believe that Satan loves all of humanity and that he would accept anybody, but the Judeo-Christian religion has been blaspheming him and his demons for ages, and it kind of gives us the right to be mad. But I do not adhere to their racist beliefs. I just believe that their blasphemy of Satan and his coherence has led to increased tensions. Now, before we begin, I just want to say, in our ever-expansive universe, there's many species. Of them, what we know is the reptilians, the Greys, and the Nordics. Now, the Nordics needed a slave force, right? And so they hired Satan, or Enki, as he said in Sumerian, who was a doctor and a scientist, to make some life form that they could use as slaves. And so he created humans out of all five elements: earth, air, fire, water, and quintessence, which is five elements, right? So we're pretty complex beings, believe it or not. And Satan saw his creation was beautiful, and he wanted to give it power and knowledge to be like the gods. In other words, he wanted to not let them be slaves. He wanted to empower them. And this was a pretty radical view, kind of like in the early colonial America when abolitionists were still regarded as radicals. And so, as the Bible says, Satan with his tail scooped out a third of the angels in heaven. This was an allegory to when a third of the Nordics followed Satan in his quest to give knowledge to humans. Now, this sparked a war. In the Bible, it said there was a war in the heavens. I think Paul talked about it, but I'm not sure. And so, this was an allegory to saying that there was a war in space. And for the enemy Nordics' population was bigger, 2/3 to 1/3, they get to write history, for they won the battle. So they wrote the Bible, blaspheming Satan and trying to take knowledge away from humans and enslaving us with the regime of the Judeo-Christian religion, which is Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, whichever one you want to choose. These religions are meant to keep us away from spiritual power. This is seen obviously throughout the whole Bible and the Quran. For example, in Revelation, like I said in my earlier video, there were 7 seals put on the 7 points of a human, which are the 7 chakras. And in the beginning of the book in Genesis, it said that Eve ate a fruit off of the tree of life in the garden, and Adam and Eve were kicked out. Now, this tree of life is a much more ancient symbol of the tree of 144,000 nadis, and each nadi is a path of wisdom to salvation. And so, you can see in the Bible text, when they ate this fruit, they lost their naivety, their naiveness. They saw they were naked, and that evil existed in the world. And this was a form of knowledge. This empowered humans. But the Christian, quote-unquote, God did not like this, for they were becoming too strong, for they gained knowledge, even a little bit of knowledge. So I put all those curses, like the earth will be hard to till, and women will experience pain in childbirth, and so forth and so on, to limit our spiritual power, now that we've tasted the smallest bit of knowledge. And so, now with the Christian religion blaspheming Satanists because of what happened in the beginning, when Satan tried to emancipate the human race, it's now became a Satanist goal to enlighten the rest of the human race, I guess, to see the truth, because without it, there's no salvation.